Alright guys, this is an FSD 13.2.2 video. This may be the start of a new video. It may be the continuation of the drive I just did, depending on how short it ends up being. I have a very quick 7-minute drive and then a longer drive after. So where I am, FSD parallel parked me here. So I would hope that it would be comfortable leaving here. We'll see what happens. I'll press and hold to start FSD. My guess is that it's going to panic because it's a little close to the curb, but maybe not. That's just me being pessimistic. Okay, good job here. Nice. That was really smooth, really fast. I thought we were going to be a little close to the curb, so I thought I was going to hesitate thinking there's an object in path, but did a great job. This Tesla has its hazards on, so it seems like we're going very cautiously around them. And then I don't know if it's because of that Canada Post person, but we're going very slow right now. Okay, stop sign here, but the cross traffic does have the right of way, so we're really far back at the stop line. We're gonna have to move up quite a bit, and we're good to go. Perfect, nice job. And this is something I noticed in version 13, it being a lot better about doing. I've talked about it in my previous videos, but it moves over to the right for a right-hand turn versus doing it from over there in the lane, which we'll do sometimes. Just makes it for a better flow of traffic if vehicles can be there and still go straight. That said, we are at a red light and we should be creeping forward. I don't see any signs that say no right turn on reds. So we're about to get the green. It's okay, but that was definitely wrong what the car just did. We should have crept forward and we should have gone right there. We had nobody behind us, whatever, but okay, that car nosed out more than he should have, and it's really good the FSD didn't hesitate. Like, it was like, it continued to go and didn't slam on the brakes, reacting to that person. I'm sure if they pulled up more, we would have, but it's nice that we didn't. Okay, so we're going a little slow for this road. We're about to come up to a school zone, so it's fine, but this is a 50, and we're going 35. So I don't love that. And now we're in a 30. 35's fine. I'm going to scroll it back just so we're... It's funny. Now it's going 36. Yeah, I'm just going to lock it in at 30 because, again, it is a school zone. This is the behavior I want the car to do in the future. For all other speed limits, for the most part, I'm okay with it speeding by whatever I tell it, like percent or kilometer offset. For school zones, though, there's kind of no wiggle room. Like, whatever the speed limit is in a school zone or a park, I will go that speed limit, and I think that should be the way the car should handle it. So we're through it. I'll scroll us back up to 50. But I don't think we'll go that fast, especially because we're about to turn right. That said, we're going very slow right now. Like, the car behind us is probably wondering what we're doing. Okay, full stop and go. Really smooth, really good acceleration, good lane centering. All this is perfect. Okay, so we should just be able to go between the... Yeah, perfect. Nice job. I wish, and I understand why, I wish it wasn't weird. Like that lady sitting at the park bench and probably catching a bus ride somewhere close by. It would be very handy and fun to be able to like pick up people like that and be like, hey, I'll take you to where you're going. do you want to just like experience full self-driving and talk about it along the way? Again, I get why. I'm a man. I can't just be picking up random girls on the side of the road for a bunch of reasons. That's not fine, but it'd be... No, I'm not going to include this in the video. Never mind. Okay, turning right here. Super smooth so far. Really good job. Okay, roundabout here. I don't know if this is the right way to signal this. We signaled left right away, which I don't... Is that how roundabouts work? Honestly, people do roundabout signaling wrong so often that I don't think I've ever actually learned the proper way. But I think that is right. You're supposed to signal left coming up to it to say that that's where you want to go, and then once you're in the roundabout, you would signal out. So I think really good job there by the car. Okay, I am here, and easy enough drive. This will probably be the start of the video, what I did at the beginning here. So I have one more drive after this to North Vancouver, and I will see you guys in a minute. I'll include this. Good job by FSD parking here, because it's kind of a parking spot. It's unfortunately a fire lane, and it just brings up the discussion of FSD needing to understand to read signs, because like you can see, no parking, fire lane, no parking, fire lane. There's no mystery here that as a human you'd see this and be like, no, I can't park here. But the car sees this as a parking spot and pulls into it. So, oh, Jesus. We were not that close to that car. I've never had the car slam on the brakes like that. Holy. That was a bit interesting. Well, it gets your heart rate going. I lost track of what I was saying. Anyways, the car needs to be able to read, because it needs to understand this is a visitor spot and this is where it should actually park, but it doesn't. Anyways, I am at my destination. That was strange. I will talk to you guys in a bit. All right, so job done here. I'm heading to grab lunch on my way to another spot. I'm not actually going to Dairy Queen. I'm just hoping there's something near there. So press and hold to start FSD. I'm curious because there's a little bit of a bump here, but okay, good job. I was wondering if it was going to get tripped up on the idea that there was a drop that we had to make there off the curb. Okay, and it's super sunny right now, so this is the scenario where people have had issues with sun glare on the windshield. I'll see if that happens. I've personally never had it happen to me, but you can see the windshield is definitely a little bit dirty. So I could imagine it happening. I'll clean it anyways right now to give us the best chance to not have it happen, but and then I was just reading on X while I was parked there. Dirty Tesla posted a video, or a photo, sorry, of just his cameras because they're road tripping home right now. And it's this view showing how his cameras are quite dirty while he's driving home. And he was just made a comment being like, FSD and we are on the wrong side of the road. This is really weird. Fortunately, there's no other cars, but that was bad. We were in the middle of the road there. He made a comment saying FSD is going to be hard in places where it snows or something to that effect. And I wholeheartedly agree. I think at minimum, the rear camera and in the new cars that have the front bumper camera should both be able to clean themselves. I'm surprised that's not a thing, because as it is, like, basically multiple times a day, if I'm driving and it's not great weather with like dirt on the road everywhere, I'll wipe the bumper camera because I know it gets dirty as fast as it does. So again, this is just talks of like a robo-taxi world. You can't expect your car to be out being a robo-taxi for you all day, where halfway through the day the camera gets dirty, and then what? It's stuck, or you need someone to come wipe it for you. It doesn't work. Like, you need it all to be autonomous for it to work. In order for it to be autonomous, it needs to be able to take care of itself. And for this camera, it can clean this windshield, and that's fine. The pillar cameras don't really get dirty nearly as much, but yeah, it's just something to talk about for sure. Like, I'm not trying to doom and gloom on that, but I just think that that's a reality. I think the cameras, I think all of them in the future should be able to clean themselves in one way or another. Because, like, I also clean these ones quite often. I just wipe them. But if I don't, over time, they'll get dirty for sure. At some point, they would become too dirty to use. What do you guys think? Is that unreasonable to expect that? Or is that also what some of you think is going to be required for, I wouldn't say necessarily FSD unsupervised. This is more beyond that, and speaking of robotaxi world. Because I could see for FSD unsupervised, if the cameras were dirty and you go to enable it, it will just say, no, you can't. And then you simply don't get to use it. The same way it is right now with FSD. If you go to use it and the cameras are dirty, it'll give you an error. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just hoping to make a very, holy shit, that scared me, quick stop to grab something for lunch, and then I'll pull back out of here. Good job so far on the drive, very smooth. I'll probably have fast forwarded 90% of that, especially because I was talking to my wife on the phone there. It's funny, like, I was a little bit higher where I was in elevation, coming down a hill for most of that drive. So for any of you that drive a Tesla often, my current drive efficiency is 55 watt hours a kilometer, which is insanity. It's not actually possible in a long-term real range, but it's very impressive for right now. Okay, so we should duck into the little middle lane here and then turn left after this car. Really good job. I don't think it'll park, but see what it does, and then I'll probably just have to take over, and then I will see you guys when I'm done here. Yeah, I'll just interview. There's someone behind me, so I'm just going to take over. So anyways, I will talk to you all in a little bit here. All right, so I just picked up food. I'll probably, I think again as last time, turn off the face cam while I'm eating, just because it's a little bit obnoxious to watch me eat and drive. But I'll talk until we're out of the parking lot and on the highway here. So I engaged FSD right from leaving the drive-through. So although it can't do drive-throughs yet, and I think you'll have seen that in a previous video, because I did try and it sort of handled the drive-through, but failed ultimately. But this is from the moment after being handed the food. It's navigating the parking lot, doing a really good job. And now we're coming up to a left turn. The only thing I would do different is I would be slightly over to the right more. I don't think it would be a problem for this car to get in, but we're definitely more left than I would be. So we have a middle lane. What I would do here is, yeah, if we get a break in traffic, I would go into that center lane, but I don't know if the car's going to do that. Okay, so there's no traffic from the left. I would go. Oh shit, I wouldn't. Okay, that's what I would call a critical disengagement. That was the car going into the road. I don't know why I wouldn't have stopped there. That was bad. Car was turning left while a vehicle was coming towards us, and it didn't seem to be stopping or going fast enough. So that's probably my second, what I would call critical safety intervention disengagement with Full Self Driving version 13 that I've had to date. it may not come across on video, and I wasn't like moments away from peril, but that guy would have either had to slam on the brakes to not run into us, or we would have had to slam on the gas or accelerator, and the car wouldn't have done that. Like, I just know the car's behavior. It doesn't use speed to escape situations like that. So, and maybe a quarter second before I put on the brakes, it would have stopped. But even still, that's us in the middle of the lane, stopped. No matter how that played out, that wasn't a good scenario. So that's too bad. I don't know why the car made that decision. Like, it seemed like it started to go, but then that car came around the corner, and I saw it clear as day. So there's no reason the car shouldn't have seen it. But anyways, the rest of this drive should be pretty straightforward, so I'm just going to eat while we drive, and then I'll talk about anything that comes up. All right, sorry, so I'm done eating now. Drive's really good so far. It's just all highway driving, so I'm genuinely just gonna fast forward most of this. There's not much to see. So I have to, after this, drop this car off to my wife, who's then going downtown later tonight with her friend. So we're switching vehicles, and then I'm driving. It's an older gas car that was actually belonged to her babcha, the one who was in the other FSD video, if you saw that. So it's like, it's a grandma car that we rarely ever have to use, but we do have a second vehicle that once a month, maybe, one of us has to drive it. I'm already upset that I'm gonna have to drive that back in this traffic that we're passing. And so it's gonna be like an hour of stop and go traffic in a vehicle that I have to do everything, which sounds like very like a first world problem. It is, absolutely. But you just get so used to FSD doing absolutely everything for you. And I'm saying this on the heels of it making a huge mistake in the fact that, you know, it failed on that unprotected left turn. I still think it's invaluable. Used alongside an attentive driver, if it makes a mistake, I just have to intervene and fix it. Like right now, I can see that this little Prius, so I just need to be aware of these things, right? Like, you're driving anyways. Why not have a system do 95% of the heavy lifting for you? Yeah. So yeah, not great that full self-driving isn't perfect yet, but nobody is saying it is. That's why it's still full self-driving supervised. It's still going to make mistakes. Oh shit. See, like, I would be slowing down so much earlier than this, but personal preference. Yeah, but the drive is, I guess, 10 more minutes, so I'll probably, honestly, not much more to say, just fast forward a bit here, and then I'll talk to you guys as I'm taking the exit. Should I record my drive home in the other car? So this is a unique one. If you know the area, you would understand this. This is an exit-only lane. We should, right now, already be in that lane. This is a solid white line. We're now technically breaking the law to change the lane. Like, I'm gonna have to disengage. FSD is in the wrong lane. This is a turning lane. It should be one lane over. So it's less of a big deal right now because traffic isn't backed up as bad, but this part of the highway gets really, really backed up, and then people will try and like cheat past the traffic by taking this lane all the way until this corner and then cutting in. So if traffic was backed up and we were stuck in that right lane, it would have become way more of a problem, because then we're a huge asshole on the road. Like, not only are we in the wrong lane when we're merging, we're breaking the law by crossing a white line, and just people aren't going to like you. Like, people will honk at you. It's the wrong thing to do. So that's unfortunate. That's, I think, as always, map data issue. I think some of that may be I have it on chill because like I said, I really like to be as far back as possible. But I think along with being in chill, it almost overly favors the right lane at times. So that's where I think it was unnecessarily getting over. In hurry, there's no way we would have ended up in that scenario. And in standard, it may have just stayed in the middle lane. But regardless, it should know better. And so this is good. Assuming it did it intentionally, this lane, from the moment we merged into it, it was noted as being an exit lane for this exit that we're taking right now. So yeah, it's good. Like, this is where I would have gone, and this is perfect, and we'll ride this lane until it ends and it becomes an exit only. So assuming it's on purpose, this is the perfect way to have done this. Nice and smooth through the exit here. It's a big loop-de-loop, but the car just keeps a very consistent kind of pitch, so it doesn't feel like we're wandering around too much in the lane as it's doing that, and none of the steering wheel jitter that used to exist before. So getting over right away, I'm just looking because I'm not sure where exactly we're going. Further, okay. I'll put it in standard now because we're off the highway, and I don't mind it being a little bit more aggressive. Okay, so good job here. We want to be in the left lane, signal left. This is exactly right. Like, I know this area, but I don't drive this area often, so this is really good that FSD is able to navigate us without me having to worry about it. All right, so that is most of the drive here. Looks like we're just turning left to the next set of lights. Yeah, pretty straightforward drive. Like I said, the one obvious huge issue is the critical disengagement. There's no denying that. It wasn't great. But otherwise, the car's done a really good job and did good on the highway, did good on the city streets here. What do you guys think of the disengagement? Was I right to do it? I hope you'll probably see it from that angle as I was pulling out because the car was there. And so the way the camera is, you actually do get quite a good side shot. Because, yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like you need to be there to really understand it. But ultimately, like, we were going in front of a vehicle that was coming at us. Yeah. If it was you and that happened to you, would you continue to use the FSD, or do you think it's crazy to use something that can potentially put you in harm's way, I guess, is another question I have for those of you that watch. Because I was thinking about that. My sister wants to buy a Tesla, probably the Model Y, and it just made me think to wonder, like, I trust it with my life because I understand it implicitly, but I would feel like there are the little issues that you need to be aware of that I would want, like, a loved one to understand it before they used it. So yeah, anyways, I'm here, and I'll see you on the next part of the video.